Okay, I'm Ron Maine. I'm an adult and extension education specialist. I did 22 years with FAO, as I call it, the Food and Agricultural Organization in the UN. And you know, I just got my little thing up here. I got my MED from URI and my participatory practitioner's training from IIED in London. And the International Institute for Environment and Development were one of the first big participatory learning and action groups, founded pretty much on the dictums from Robert Chambers back in about 1983 when he came out with his first books. And he was the big leader in the UK in this. I got a list on here of places that I've wandered around and worked, and it's been a lot of fun, learned a lot, which is important. And I'm going to take this thing off now, because I'm not going to do a PowerPoint presentation.
You close the laptop screen?
I did. No, I'm going to keep the laptop open.
Okay.
That's how clever I'm going to be.
Okay.
I could be staring at a bunch of notes, or I could just have these things here that I can look at once in a while. Okay, when Sarah came to me, I was thinking about this, and the thoughts that went through my mind was just what I'd kind of picked up off Jim Lear on the NewsHour, you know. The G8 is now the G20, so that has to have some kind of an effect. I was thinking about all that expansion, the other G12, and what's going to be happening there. And I thought there'd probably be a strong possibility for entry by groups and individuals who were previously unfamiliar with the established investment and business community. So they're going to be new type people. This is a long distance effect. I wasn't, so I thought there had to be probably some positive effect in this country for new establishments, ventures, supporting that G12. You know, it's going to be opportunities for new businesses, which probably is what people that come out of this program are going to be looking at. I wouldn't, because what you need to know is that I'm not an economist, nor am I a businessman. But looking at the Antioch program, there were two things that caught my attention, and these were sustainability and the environmental aspects of the program, both things that are important to me. So I asked myself, in light of my experiences, aforementioned expectations occurring, how might participatory rapid assessment and participatory learning and action techniques serve to enhance the sustainability aspect of innovative and or non-traditional ventures. So I'm curious to investigate whether or not a more inclusive approach to opinions, attitudes, and values can serve to enhance the sustainability. As I had a convenient entry into Antioch, I set about to design my little purpose statement. And my purpose statement is, with assistance from the Antioch University Green MBA candidates, and other students if there are any here, initiate a dialogue to attempt to investigate how and if participatory tools might be applicable to the development of environmentally and or socially sustainable economic activities. And the dialogue part's important. I don't have an answer to that question. I have some opinions. I'm going to talk to start off with for a while, a little bit about my experiences and what they've shown regarding participatory approaches. And at present, when speaking of organizations and businesses in the light of participatory techniques, and looking on the internet and seeing what they're doing, I find that most often these things are applied when they're doing team building and this type of thing, which they would work fine. But it's internal. It's in the organization or business and with the organization or business's agenda. And to me, that's really important. And so if we look at So I'm going to make a differentiation between internal and external inputs. And I do not believe that either is superior or more important than the other. What I believe is that internal inputs and external inputs, when taken together, can result in an enhanced chance of success. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of anecdotes from my experiences that can shed light on the benefits of these techniques. One will describe a negative situation that will result from the lack of participatory intervention, and one will highlight a positive one. The first case, involves a small-scale aquaculture business. It was operating on passive or traditional basis and not employing any enhanced methods whatsoever. The fish farmer was utilizing still water ponds or stagnant ponds and allowing the fish to forage for their nourishment as best they could. And this seemed to be a prime target for some enhanced activities. So an extension agent went out, talked to the farmer, talked him into cooperating, helped him secure a little working capital loan, and then they went to work. And they had a stream going by the village, and this guy had, the farmer, he had 2 ponds. They were, as I said, still water ponds. So what they did with their working capital is, and they hired some labor, and they dug a little channel. To feed water into the ponds. And then they dug another channel, because they don't want to drown anything. To let it get back out and into the river. What this did was, it increased the availability of absorbed oxygen in the water. It gave the sense of these ponds being much bigger than they actually are. And this allowed a greater stocking density. So he could grow a lot more fish. Now the fish they were growing, the picanas, the carp, literally translated that means goldfish, and they sort of are the same family. They just get large. But they didn't want them too large. They wanted them to be about 350 to 450 grams. Because they sold them by the tail. Okay?